All right, how's everybody doing tonight? Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Big Chonis. You guys can follow me on Twitter. I am at Big Chonis. These are my best ideas. I take technical analysis very seriously. I'm a crypto trader, an investor, a mentor, a chart psychologist. Please do your own research. All right, let's get into it, guys. Thank you for joining me tonight. I wanted to do a couple recaps of course, Bitcoin, see what's going on in the altcoin market. We're closing out our weekly candle here as well. So we're going to take a look at that and a lot of weekly candles as well, trying to see what's going on here. So we're watching this end of day little pump here in the price of Bitcoin as we're still about 4 minutes left in our daily closing candle. And we're just checking out. I'm on the 5 minute chart here. I'm on Coinbase. I just wanted to keep a quick look here, kind of see how we're kind of end the day here, because like literally the last 10 minutes of the day, after being kind of flat, I guess, say most of the day, a little bearishness earlier here, we just had this end of day little pop here. Excuse me. And we're watching to see, if this is just kind of a suckers, kind of pull people in on this low volume here. And what I mean by low volume is I'm kind of go out to my daily chart here. We're kind of actually take a look at this candle and the volume today. And listen, today's volume was very similar to what we had yesterday there. Very low volume. So our daily volume chart here. Down here, I'm on Coinbase, but still we can see how much lower this actually gets. And that's notable because what we're watching here is just very low volume environment. So it doesn't take much money to actually kind of push this market higher and to push the little things going here. So at the very end of the day here, with the 3 minutes to go, we're actually seeing this little pop here, try and make this candle, which was looking pretty sad earlier in the day, look a little better. Now remember, this decent looking candle here, but remember, we're rolling up 60, 70, 80, so it's like a $90 move here. I mean, which is extremely small, obviously, for Bitcoin, especially, for some sort of intraday move, which we've been used to, the volatility. Not so much recently here. We're definitely seeing just kind of our low volume environment here. So a couple more minutes here. We kind of watch to see how our daily candle closes. Remember, the way this thing looks is also very important. We're on the verge. I hate using the word verge, but we're on the verge of either a hanging man here or kind of a nice hammer. And we definitely haven't put in a clean hammer in a very long time. Going back here, we always have this little upper wick here. Here this is a little more of a spinning top here, especially here. But yeah, we're definitely just trying to see, are we kind of close at the very top here? Kind of see a little pullback again. Only 2 minutes left in our daily candle close, and most of the day here we were kind of in that sub, $6,300 range on the USD exchanges. I know we were a little higher, on our Finexes, on our Binances that are still using Tether as the medium there. So I'm just going to go back down to our 5 minute here. We're just going to watch our daily candle close and kind of see our end of day price action here. Remember, this is very low volume here. It doesn't take a lot of money, to push this up a couple bucks, and that's kind of all we're seeing right now is just a couple bucks move here. And we're looking for some kind of follow through, because early in the day, I'm going to my hour chart here. We had fallen pretty precipitously with decent volume, and we basically had found support at, where are we here? Horizontal 6271. And that area there basically is shown to keep a higher low intact. I'll zoom out to my 6 hour here. Notice the 6 hour held the lower support there on the Bollinger. So remember back, when was this? This was back in the end of October, Halloween time. We put in a low of 6201. So today's low is 6271, right? So we're still maintaining our higher low and maintaining our equilibrium. Now, a couple days ago, let me go back to my daily chart here, because we are closed. The daily chart is in, the weekly chart is in. We'll definitely get to the weekly chart in due time. But very long wick here on very low volume. So yes, this wick was bought up and more or less towards the end there on that little volume pop, but we actually put in lower volume than the previous day's candle. I have a sip of my vino here. And we're still ranging in our Bollingers, which are obviously extremely tight. So what did this move do What did the past several days of price action show us? We were as low as 6,200. We peaked out. Let me draw my top horizontal here, or horizon line, 65.39. How many people were buying into this strength only to buy the top? And how many people were buying into today's weakness to do kind of a scalp here? And now we're watching today's follow up price action. We're seeing a little more price action. We're trying to build on this little bit of a bullish push here. And what we're watching for is, you see here, my EMAs here, 12 and 26, they were so close to crossing, right? So close to crossing a couple days ago here. Actually, I think intraday they actually did cross, and just got repelled, and we're spread out again by our bearish moves we've had the past couple days. And now we're seeing yesterday's slight buy up, and today, which, remember, we're 1 minute, we are 1 minute into this brand new candle here, so do not read much into this at all. But we're definitely trying to see, maybe our EMAs here are trying to redo another attempt of crossing. Remember, we were repelled by our middle Bollinger. We're now above it intraday, 1 minute into our day here. But we're watching to see, if we can get any continuation here on this move here. So let's look at some other indicators here. Let's bring up our RSI and kind of see where we've been here. Intraday here, I got a lot of mess here. Let me see if I can clean this up. So where's our line? Actually, this isn't the line I want to use. That one I want to get rid of. That's what I want to use. I want to use this line here and this there. So look, we actually had found support. Well, we found this resistance here. We had then found the resistance again. Oops. Control C, Control V. Whoa. Yikes. Where are we here? There we go. Right here, and we had found this support, boom, right there. So we did a back test of our previous resistance line, and that held. Now remember, intraday, this was actually breaking, so we were actually lower than this intraday. I put out a video earlier in the day, and we've basically back tested it and found support, so that's good. So what's our next battle line here? Our next battle line here, obviously, is the 50 on the daily RSI. We're able to break above, back test, find support, and rise higher. And then we were able to fall through. So we're going to back test. We have a chance to basically back test our 50 line if we're going to find any more bullish continuation here. Looking at our stochastic here, we were ranging lower. Remember, we were putting in higher lows consistently here, here, and here. Potentially, we were angled to do it again. Where right now we're finding that little cross, bullish cross, because we were able to close the day out fairly strong with a little more continuation. Now looking at our MACD, remember, we were about to cross as well intraday, right? Definitely seemed like we're about to have that bear cross, but nope, they're separate. They're looking pretty good here, and we are still holding a bullish histogram, even though we've lost a lot of momentum in our histogram here. Remember, we were watching our OBV. We were watching our bullish divergence actually hold, and that's basically remained. And that's what kept me, more or less still on the bullish side, not bullish side, basically still seeing that the bulls had a chance to pull this one through with either the support of a higher low, which they were able to achieve, as well as keeping this higher low in the OBV, which they also have been able to maintain this whole move here. Now, our chalking money flow has been very interesting. Again, we've seen a back test of our resistance line, right? This kept our money flow rejected here when we had our Halloween kind of dump there, and now we were able to, or the pop that kind of paused there, we pushed through, we back tested it, we rose again, we back tested it again, and we basically put in a lower high there. Looks a little head and shoulders ish, but we were able to get above our zero line. Now earlier in the day we were actually below our zero line here, so we're watching to see if this is actually money flow coming in with consistency, or basically people taking profits where profits can be taken. And let's look at our squeeze momentum. Now this thing is super tight. We talk about our bull move here, December, right? Our parabola, and then our break, and then our bearishness heading into February here before our bottom, and then our very nice move up. followed by our March lows, our April pump, our May lows, our June lows, our July pump, our August fall apart, our end of August push into September with our September lull. And you see we're getting tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. And we can even go zoom in here and we're seeing how tight our histogram is, but we're still in the bullish, we're still in the positive, we're still in the green, we're still in the mountain range here. Our previous mountain was higher lows were the name of the game here, lower lows on our mountain here. Look at that, we're just still holding that little bit of a bullish mountain. So that's notable there. All right, so let's take a quick look back at Bitcoin. Let's go zoom into my 5 minute. Let's kind of see what's going on here. The continuation, little continuation. We're back to 63.80. Why is 63.80? Let's go to my hourly chart here. Look at that. We're hitting our MA 50, MA 100. I get these confused. MA 100. So we're hitting our MA 100. Oh, we're broken through our MA 100. Interesting. So we're getting back to this area here. All right. So look at this is our next big test here. It's right where we actually broke bearish here, 6402. So we can get above 6400. Okay, that negates all this. Okay, that's where we were basically bear flagging and then we fell off the cliff there. So we're watching to see if we can actually break higher than this through this. Reminder now on the hourly chart, our Bollingers are not super tight. This was super tight. These are a little wider. We're currently outside our upper Bollinger right now on our hourly. Let's check out our 4-hour chart. So we were actually able to find support on our middle Bollinger here and potentially getting ready to touch the upper one here. Remember, we're getting tighter in our 4-hour, that is sure. And our RSI in our 4-hour definitely has some running room. We actually put in a lower low in our RSI, breaking above 50 on the 4-hour. Oh, and I wanted to bring up do a TD count, see where we're going here. So we got as low as a red 7, but it wasn't a very good one. Let's go to our 12-hour. Oh, we got a red 6, and then that reversed, and then the big boy. Let's see what our daily looks like. We got to a red 5, and we're actually still on a red 5. We're still on a 1, 2, 3, 4, because, 6405. So a real trend changer here would be to get above and of course hold $6,400 here. But until then, we're still kind of putting in just a correction from this ultra bearish move we'd had here the past several days. We closed out our week here, unable to do a bull cross of our EMAs here, unable to break through anything, and still putting in the negative there. I wanted to get rid of my TDs for just a moment. I wanted to bring up my Ichimoku, and you see where our cloud is here. Let me clean this up just a little bit. There we go. And listen, we've just been under it, under it, under it, under it, under it. Looking at our indicators here, they are parallel. And I was watching those to see if they could have a big move today. They're basically very tight here, very parallel. And we were still basically under the cloud. We got close to it here, and you see this cloud resistance is basically right at 65, 70, let's say. Gets a little lower as we get into December potentially, and but that could change as well once we get past here, depending upon our current price action here. Remember, our daily here, we got close. We didn't touch our lower BB, but we definitely got close, and now we're basically flirting with our middle BB resistance. All right, a couple more things here, then we'll go right to the alts. I want to do the weekly chart and talk about Bitcoin's week and how we closed out. Look at this here. Oh, wow. So this was our week, this one here. This is our new week. We just started here, but let's focus on this. Another spinning top, bearish, but spinning top. We had a longer wick on top. Clearly our EMA 12 right there, a major resistance that continues to hold. And listen, every time we pop, right, and we do kind of a test here, except for our tether pump here, we kept hitting our EMA 12 here. We hit it here, we hit it here. So our EMA 12 intra-week, other than our tether pump week, which was an anomaly, okay, it really was. But that's showing that resistance continues. Okay, so any break above that, without a manipulated pump like the tether pump would be notable. But for now, EMA 12 on the Coinbase weekly is major resistance, and basically still acts that way. Now, our Bollingers have basically flatlined both indicators here. That's notable because, listen, we look for direction here. We want these to get tighter. We want these to get tighter. And look how tight 1, 2, 3 weeks in a row of extremely tight candle bodies here. Now, this was a bearish engulfing candle. We engulfed the previous body of last week, not the wicks, but the body here. So again, I have to classify this still as a bearish candle. Obviously it was in the red. We engulfed bearishly our previous week. We hit our EMA 12 resistance. We did have a nice wick buy up there, but look at our volume. We actually put in lower volume than the previous week. Okay, I'm gonna keep an eye on that as well. Look at a few more indicators here. RSI, look at that, dead stick. I mean, we have our angles here and everything, but you don't have to see them. You just look at this thing. This thing is a dead stick at 45. Nothing. We're getting nothing from this. This is just dead stick, but we're under 50, and we're kind of watch this because this can't go flatline forever. Something's got to give. Looking at our Stoke. This is our Stoke. Angled bullishly still. It's weak though. But yeah, these were probably crossing earlier and they were able to pull apart. So that's good. So this still has a bullish angle to it. And let me see here. What kind of, actually, you know what? I can use this little fella right here. Because I want to see if we have any kind of specific resistance line going on here. We kind of do. Look at that. Boom, boom, boom. Very close right there on our leading indicator to going a little bit higher, potentially testing this resistance line here. See, that actually is meaningful. And listen, our MACD on our weekly, okay, we're still in the bull. We're still in our upper. We're still holding a bullish histogram here. And we're still angled bullishly as well with our indicators, both looking pretty good. So that's interesting to basically see that there. And that's good. So hey, quick pause. I want to check out our chat room here. 67 on my closest friend. What's up, Mohammed Cannon? 80 Trulio, DJ Meme Extreme, Mario Latano, apologies. Anthony Hardy, Hold LTC, I guess, 22U2, Shammy FLFC. Thank you for joining me today. So yeah, our MACD, remember we're still way in the zeros here. We're still way in the negative, but we're looking pretty good because we're still angled bullishly with a bullish histogram here. Remember, guys, I'm on the weekly chart here, looking at our chalk and money flow here. Listen, nice momentum basically through the week there. We're hitting this resistance. I'm not sure what this line was about. It just happens to be here. It looks pretty good. Let me see what we got here. I mean, this clearly has running room from that standpoint here. Let me look at the previous. Yeah, see, look at we're kind of in this channel here where we basically have a top off. We have our resistance. We break through it, and now we might be looking to back test our previous resistance. Now actually turn support. So that is notable. All right, how are we looking here? What's going on with Bitcoin? Still hanging in there, 63.73. All right, so listen, I asked for a couple altcoin requests. I definitely want to do those in just a moment here. But listen, I want to zip through a couple more things here. I want to just go through a couple charts really quickly here. Listen, GBTC, okay, this is the OTC traded stock, okay, that has a premium to the price of Bitcoin. It's been shrinking. The premium's been shrinking. It's a lot lower than it used to be there. Remember, I'm the one on the weekly chart. Actually, let's pull up my TD again. Why not, right? Listen, we had a 9 count, perfected 9 count with a bleed out, a 3 candle bleed out here. We're finding this support with a green 1 with a pretty nasty long wick though. This was our Friday close here. So depending upon how Bitcoin closes, you're going to see how this has been kind of a forerunner. This has been more bearish than Bitcoin as well. So we're looking for any kind of signs potentially on this stock, which is the only thing you can really trade from a stock perspective that correlates with actually holding Bitcoin. Real quick here, I want to look at Litecoin. Once again, we keep flirting with $50. We break through it, we break under it, we break through it, we break under it. It's just a continuing battle here. My fear is that we're going to touch 47 again or lower and not be able to hold it. This is our weekly. Remember, our weekly close bearish there. It was a bearish golfing, longer wick on top. We're in a red 6 on our weekly. We just started a red 6 here. That could switch though very quickly because we're just very tight here. Wouldn't take much to get a couple of dollars more. And remember, this was a green earlier in the week before we actually gave it up. Once we broke a little bit lower there. And same thing, RSI, dead stick and much lower than Bitcoin here, only at 36 here. Looking at, bring up Ethereum. How are you, Ethereum? Ethereum, when you're near. There we go. Okay, so ETH. So let's see here. Now, listen, we were looking for, again, that divergence to see if maybe Ethereum could put in a different kind of bullish divergence. Look how tight our body is here. Look at that. We did that back in the end of October. We did another extremely tight body candle there. I mean, we were 206 to 222. We had a $16 week fluctuation in the price of Ethereum. I mean, come on, guys, that's ridiculous. So super tight price action rising. We're on a green too. Volume's decreasing here. That's what's a little interesting. We're not getting. Remember, we had big volume here that bought up this bottoming when we got down to as low as 167 area here. But we're not finding continuation. And these patterns here, we were able to break through our triangle. Actually, this looked better on my daily chart. Let me pull that up. Oops. And let me get rid of my Ichimoku for just a moment here. And my TDs. Because look at, we have all these patterns here, all these triangles. Look how tight our Bollingers are here. But our volume decreasing is notable, even though we were able to break bullishly out of our triangle here. Let me see if you can see it a little better there. There we go. Right. So I don't want to extend my triangle. This here in itself is a new pattern here. But listen, we've seen this take place. We've been able to, well, it's not true. We basically find a pattern, we break bearish. Find a pattern, 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 break bearish. Now, this is kind of one of the first times, but we're in a while where we've actually had a triangle and we're breaking out of it, but we're not really breaking out of it. We're just slowly getting a little higher. Now, what's notable is again we still, oh wait, we did bull cross. Yeah, we actually are in a bull cross still. That happened a couple weeks ago. We're actually able to hold it, to actually hold that bull cross here, even with our intra-week bearishness we had last week. Remember, we were down to 206. Now we're tilting in. This is a $5 move, okay? So even though this wick here looks like, wow, it was bought up, and this green little bit here looks, like it's, oh, it looks pretty good here. This is $5, okay? So don't let this appear, this make it seem like we're kind of changing direction. I had a tweet out earlier in the week talking about my EMA 55, this yellow line here, okay? This keeps repelling the price. It did it way back up here, right here, right? And did it way back up here, right here. So until we can break through the EMA 55 on the Ethereum daily chart, the bears still have control. Plain and simple. All right, let's look at Bitcoin Cash. Now, bring up my Coinbase chart here because this is where all the action is. Got to do some adjustments here. Okay, so here's our fork. And we are 3 days away from our fork now. Woohoo. So let me pull that a little higher here. So there's our fork on the 15th. We're 3 days away. Okay. No one's really sure what's going to happen, but normally, supposedly, we're going to get a split where you get kind of a 1-for-1 of what you're currently holding, potentially, of Bitcoin Cash in the wallets you are holding it in on the exchanges. We'll see how that actually goes here. Clearly very bullish, and clearly it's definitely helped the market, given the market some sort of a sense of, wow, if Bitcoin Cash can do it, maybe my coin can too. And we see a couple things here on the daily. So we found support on the MA 100 on the daily. We also found support when we tested our 55 Fibonacci from our most recent swing low, October 31st, when we were at $400, to our most recent swing high at $638. So we went down a full retrace of 55%. Not bad, right? And the can be a bullish retrace there if we're able to kind of hold that there. That's pretty good. Obviously a 23 or a 38 would be more bullish, but that's something of note there. And it's also something to note as our volume is definitely declining here. Looking at our RSI, we're back to the 54. Really came down quite a bit, and we're once again in this zone here. Remember, this was the zone where like bullish runs were died, break through, okay? And now we're back in this area here, which must hold. Like, this is the area, 54 on the daily. RSI for Bitcoin Cash is really important to hold here, because if it breaks, then it's going to be resistance. And we see what happened the last time right here, that this line was actually acted as resistance. It remained resistance for quite some time there. So we'll kind of keep an eye on this, because if we close below it on the daily, that could sign that we're basically not letting that momentum. Now we got a crazy big pop in our chalk and money throw because of that bullish push there. And you notice where we're finding our support. And look at that. We're just back testing right here. We're resistance, resistance, resistance. Breakthrough, back testing and support. So that's still bullish. The bulls still have control of the chalk, and if they can maintain this area, and we'd have to see that by the money flow coming into this thing and pushing it a little bit higher as well. OBV gave a lot back. Remember, you got to have this in your account when this thing happens. Maybe we will get that last push potentially, as we get into that fork area there. But very scary here, because this thing gave back a lot. What did we get back actually? Let's look at that. Let's look at that, because we went up. We went up 58%. We came back, so the 55. So we gave up about 20% of that. So still, big move up. A decent pullback back there. But you're still in the green if you basically were able to get down here. And definitely, as a trader, I always say take profits along the way. I want to look at longs and shorts, so that's very important as well. I want to start with Bitcoin Cash shorts, because look at this. They are blast off. Blast off. Okay. Now here, 59,000 open contracts was our previous all-time high. I don't know why this doesn't transfer, but all-time high. And we blasted through that. Huge volume, just pushing through there. Tremendous amount of Bitcoin Cash shorts are being held right now. And I'm going to compare that, where are you here, to my BCH longs, which have also been rising. What the heck? There we go. Which have also been rising along the way. Now, not as much as BCH shorts have, but look at that. They are also at all-time high levels. God, look at that. Look at that. I'm going to get out of my escape here. I don't know why it does that. And put this up here, because that is notable. Oops. Ooh, that's not how you spell all-time high, is it? So we have all-time high in the shorts. We have all-time high in the longs. Okay, one of these guys is on the wrong side of this trade. Okay, one of these guys is on the wrong side of this trade. Who's it going to be? All right, let's look at Ripple. Take a quick at a couple of these things here. It's gonna rip through a bunch of these XRP, BTC. Oh, actually, let's go to our one chart here. Ripple. There we go. Okay, so I put a tweet on this a couple days ago about a double back test. Remember, we were back testing. Go up here. All right, so we had a double test here of this major resistance. So remember, all these wicks here told you this was a major zone of resistance here. Once again, we tapped it, quickly rejected it, but we're still holding on. We're holding on to our EMA 12 here, okay, on declining volume. RSI still decent number. We're still over 58, and can we get enough for that next push there? I don't know. I don't like this lower lows here. I don't like the lower lows and the lower volume here. Our chalking is good. Um, and definitely you could see them getting back up to this area here with one more push potentially. Um, hmm. I don't like this squiggle here though. Something about that doesn't sit pretty with me. OBV is very strong still. Yeah, OBV is very strong. Looks you're looking at kind of a higher low there. So that's bullish divergence, and our Stoke kind of has room to go both directions there. So that's interesting. Can look at ZRX, Coinbase fella here. This is the USD. Um, Is Phoenix the same as that? Yeah, I'm just going to use Coinbase here. Listen, this was obviously put on the Coinbase not too long ago. It had its pump, had its dump, had its dump again, and it's still dumping. I did a dump from there to there and there to there. I'm going to do another one. Look at that. So we've had, it's terrible. Down 37%, little pop, then down 16%, little pop, and now down another 20%. I mean, so this thing continues to deflate. And we can actually look at, let me bring up just Phoenix here just for a longer term perspective. And actually, let's look at the weeklies on this one. Because listen, the weekly chart, again, they give you a lot of information. They cut the noise out. And even with this major pullback, okay, go on a major pullback, we're still putting in a higher low. We're still putting a higher low, and we're still in this declining equilibrium, though an equilibrium nonetheless. We're holding a higher low here after breaking a lower low here, and we're still putting in lower highs here as well. So this is still, and I consider this still an equilibrium. There we go. And what's going to really change that direction? Because now we have this tap off here. Is a break of that, a break of that equilibrium that is still holding with our higher low and our lower high potentially conjugating here as we get towards the end of the year. So we're still in equilibrium and we still have an apex to contend with, even though we've been quite bearish since we basically topped off again in this area here. Let's go through ZEC. Remember, this is one of the potential Coinbase sixes here. Okay, it's actually had a nice little bottoming here. I like the consolidation as well. Low volume. This is over $100 coin here. I mean that's interesting. It's hard to get these higher price coins. Newer people into crypto. They don't normally go for these coins here. They basically find. Oh, why is this? There we go. There we go. They basically, you look at a coin that's $130 USD, you got a coin that's 30 cents USD. As a newer trader, which one are you kind of basically be drawn to? But even with that, we're seeing some nice bullishness here. Now the weekly's telling me that my EMA 12 is still very strong resistance. I pull my Bollingers up as well. I can see if we're able to break through that. Our middle BB is at 143, but until we're able to break through that, our EMA 12, we're not going to basically be able to test that. Now, after finding this kind of decent hammer here, close to a hammer at least, we actually had a pretty good week last week, bullish engulfing, but we definitely had, I'm not going to call it a decent sell-off because it was only $8, but still, holding strong here on, I guess, low to moderate volume is notable. XLM, now listen, this one here we've been watching for a while now. It's been breaking, it broke through. I'm on the dollar exchange here, so I'm on the USD, on Phoenix here, on the weekly. Listen, we have our higher lows. We have our lower highs. And we still have our lower high, even though we broke through our equilibrium, because we closed under where our high was back in September, where our closing candles was. So this is notable for a break of our wick offs here, for sure. We also put in a higher low body as well, right? No doubt. Okay, no doubt. But we're still putting a lower low and only a breakthrough and a close above, 28 cents. And let's just call it 30 cents for shits and giggles, which basically would be retesting our upper Bollinger there. That's the potential we're watching. Now, look at that volume candle. That was a nice volume came in last week's price action here. And this was a pretty good looking RSI, at least for, since August there, just continuing to rise with very nice bullishness. So we'll watch that. Yeah, quick look here on Tether just to know where we're at. Remember, we're sub a dollar. So because of that, still, we're seeing that slight arbitrage continue. Differentiations between the USD charts and the USDT charts. Ethereum Classic. Classically not looking so good. Yeah, listen, this chart here, this was a Coinbase first day of opening. Marked the top of this little pump here. Again, we're putting in lower highs. Okay, putting in lower lows here. Last week's price action, again, very tight. Every candle, every one's price action here is extremely tight, consistently here. So even though this candle was red and had a little wick here, the body was nothing. The body was 20 cents here. So again, just very tight, very low volume. Everything's waiting for something, but money's definitely not flowing in. We're not seeing that flow in. That's why we're seeing that slight declining OPV as well. What else do we have here? EOS. This is a very similar chart to Bitcoin here. Look at this. I'm on the weekly chart here. Look how tight this equilibrium is here. Look how tight this triangle is here. Again, this is a very similar chart to Bitcoin. Okay, very tight. We're seeing very similar candles. Not yesterday's candle. This was a little bit more bearish looking than Bitcoin's was. But we're able to close with a higher low closing candle than we did back when we closed the month out of October. So that's notable. And again, this can take us a couple more weeks into November here. RSI again pegged dead stick, very similar to Bitcoin, a 44 on the weekly, very similar, still under 50. This one will probably do what Bitcoin does. Remember, EOS have a tendency to have a much bigger, quicker bull move sometimes than than other candles there. So we're going to keep an eye on that as well. Bitcoin futures. This is one I always like to look at here for the gaps. Come on. This one I'm going to go down to my hourly because remember this one was closed over the weekend. Just opened. Now are my did coin? No, there we go. There was a gap here still on the 30 minute. Let me just check these out here. So that's 6140 still open. And there was another one I thought somewhere here of no. There's a couple of them actually. And we opened with a little gap there, but on the hourly we're not really seeing it. Yeah, there's no real gap on the hourly price. So this is notable that we were basically able to hold more or less in the zone here as we were able to open here as well. But I still see a little gap lower at 6140 there. Yeah, basic attention token. I'm not going to pull... Yeah, I'll pull the Binance one. I'm not going to pull the Coinbase one because it's just so small. Why don't you look at that in the Coinbase chart? But listen, this one pumped, listed on Coinbase, dump. Okay, another example of a pump and dump when you get the Coinbase listing. That's why, Lumen, not Lumen. Yeah, Lumen. Lumen, ADA, and Zcash are the three yet to be added to Coinbase. And, they all look pretty good before the addition to Coinbase. Before the actual addition, and they just crash very, very hard. All right, let's look. I asked for some requests on my tweet, so I'm going to pull that one up first and see which ones I haven't gone over yet. Okay, we can do, let's see here. So we did that one, we did that one, we did that one. TRX. Let's look at Tron. You know what, before we look at Tron, okay, I can do a couple housekeeping things here. So listen, I like to watch Coinbase Pro in terms of, this is where I cut my teeth in trading early on, and just got very used to watching my EMAs. Remember EMA 12, EMA 26. what Coinbase offers. Only two they offer, but I got very used to watching them dance with each other. You're watching that bull cross potential never happened. Still being repelled here. We go to our 6-hour chart here. Remember, we were unable to hold our EMA supports. We found resistance. Now we're wicking off here on our second attempt to break through there. Again, nice candles here, and we see right there where we wicked off. Right here, not even able to get above. Again, 6,400 was where I was looking for a little push potentially. Um, could happen there. Yeah, so let's go to real quick here. Coin market cap. Just look at Bitcoin dominance 52.3. That's stable. We were as low as 51 something. We were as high as 54 something. Again, pretty much dead stick. 24-hour crypto volume 12 billion. That's low. Market cap 212. That's low. Currencies 2,094. That's high. And there's 15,000, almost 16,000 crypto markets. That's a lot. Bitcoin, remember, we were ranging in the 4 billion, right? After being in 3 billions, we were in the 4 billions. Now we're back to the 3 billions, just barely around 3.9, 3.7, Market cap still around 111 billion as well, and holding. Okay, alts, let's do it. Let's go to can do TRX. So let's do TRX. I'll do a USD and BTC. USD's got more action. It's a better looking chart. So this is Tron USD. This is my hourly. Wow, what a pullback from up here. Where were we at here? We were at 20, 2 cents, 2.5 cents, 2.3 here. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go back to my BTC actually. I don't like this dollar chart. And let me go to my, screw it. Let's stick with the weeklies, right? Let's stick with the weeklies because the weeklies are giving us our overall, where we're at here. Interesting here. So we were holding a support line with our bodies and a resistance line also with our bodies. And we've broken through our body support as we open up this weekly candle as well. So we basically were below our line here. I can go here, and I guess if I use my wicks here, I guess you definitely have more running room. Yeah, I guess I'm cool with that. I'll keep with the wicks. So we're getting very tight to our equilibrium there as well. Look at our Bollingers. They're tightening, but they're actually still pretty wide, even though this looks like it's getting tighter, which it is. But again, this could definitely take on some more sideways price action. I'm not seeing the volume there much as well. Let's see here. Let's do Poe. Let's do some Poe. PO. Actually, I just saw Sia Coin. I know someone wanted to do Sia Coin. Listen, Sia Coin's at 91. The reason this one's so cheap, relatively speaking, is there's a lot of coin out there. There's a lot. There's a lot of Sia Coin out there. And we're ranging here with our higher low, right? And what's our OBB look like? Yeah, just nothing crazy here. So again, we're just ranging here. It's a very tight pattern with just very low volume. It looks like almost wants to wait for our Bollingers to tighten up there. Poe, P-O, not pot, Poe. All right, this is Poe. This is the weekly. I'm on the Binance chart there. Interesting. So we were able to get above our middle BB, wicked off EMA 26, right? Came down, found support EMA 12, but closed below our middle Bollinger, and now we're just right there, opening up above our middle Bollinger. That's interesting. So we closed below, open above, and we're also above our EMA 12 here. So very tight inflection point. As long as this holds here, this can definitely continuation here. We got to break through our 235 area, which is going to be where our EMA 26 resides. Bollingers, again, they're tightening, but they're still very tight. And RSI 47, I do like this nice move here. Retrace holding. So as long as we're holding here, this looks decent. Volume, not terrible. Not terrible. Again, we were able to hold this area here with low volume. So we're going to keep an eye on that. And our OBV definitely gained back, but still definitely holding some ground here. So not bad with Poe. Um, let's see here. Look in the chat room. He was in the chat room tonight. Let's do a quick two. Dion Kiss, DJ, King, Sculpture Smith, Scott Holtzman, Vito Machia, Sam, Mick Hick 95, Juan Robles, Rick. What's up, Rick? What's up, Adam? JC Crypto, Ons 10,000. Let's see here. Rick, let's do XVG. I can do XVG. I was on the verge of doing XVG. I haven't looked at Verge in a while here. I got a fib here. Old fib. I love opening up a chart I haven't looked at a while and seeing like where I was drawing stuff previously. Interesting. So I was doing a fib here from most Wilson swing, and look at that. Interesting. Look at that. Look at that. We're right to the T there, the dollar, the Satoshi. Have found support right at our 78.6 fib level there on low volume. RSI again dead stick right at 39 and weak. OBV crawling up. It's a slight bullish divergence there in the OBV. I give it that. And it doesn't look good. I'm gonna chalk in. Um, this I actually do like. This is our squeeze histogram there, and we're getting close to a positive here. You know, you see how negative, slowly rising. A couple more weeks, it's gonna be in the positive. We can actually put in a green histogram. So that's notable. On Verge, XVG. Remember, this was a cult coin. This one had its big pump when it had its big Pornhub announcement, which was this price action here. These nasty wicks here coming down here, still holding a higher low from its inception when it was down to 46 sats. But I don't know. It feels weak. I don't like the volume. And again, it's just an alt. It's going to do what everything kind of happens here. I just happen to notice this one NEM. This is a higher. Um, you keep an eye on the ones that are at least in the top 20, right? And here's NEM at 17 here. Okay, wow, it's under $1 billion, $836 million. Um, and we're looking at that here again, very similar to a chart we were looking at earlier, where it's just a sideways price action, a very low volume consolidation. Look at our OBV, nothing here. I don't see loading. Even with that sideways price action, look at our Stoke. Just use all that momentum there to rise that Stoke. RSI is still very weak on the weekly there as well, but it is holding an area, a very sideways price action. Remember, this is a coin here that it basically bottomed here and is doing that double tap of this area. I don't like double taps. Don't like double taps. Because double taps lead to triple taps. And we're getting very close to that right there. Again, finding our EMA resistance. EMA 12, Bollinger, EMA 26, upper Bollinger. Still holding there. Icon for Adam. ICON. I have that one here. I don't have icon. I know I've done icon before. Oh, I hate that ICON. There we go. ISON BKC, Binance. What the heck? I know I'm looking at it. Oh, it is ICX. Duh. All right, I'm an idiot tonight. It's been a long week. There we go. ICX. There we go. There we go. Okay, there's a BCC. There's USD. Let's keep the USD for just a look here. Yeah, very similar sideways price action, lower low. So yes, this is our weekly here. I put in a worse week here. I don't like that. You know, we were climbing, we were holding higher candle bodies. Last week we put in a lower. We put in wow. We put in our lowest closing low ever, at least on Binance. It's not good. OBV is crappy. RSI is weak. 37. Tucket money flow declining. Icon looks bad. I don't like it. I don't like how this candle closed here on the weekly there. Don't like it. Let's see here. NPXS. NPXS. Oh, Pundai. Do I know this one? 24 Satosh. Good. God love you. So this is our weekly. This is on Binance. Obviously, June. Price discovery. Price discovery. Yeah, I don't know about this one here. I mean, 24 Satosh, which means its supply must be enormous. Haven't even been able to touch our EMA 12 yet. Bearish engulfing previous week. Holding, definitely holding for quite a while, right? All of August, all of September, all of October, in November. Oops. OBV is, yeah, that's interesting. RSI is, yeah, 11. Yeah, I mean, I guess this wouldn't take much to go up, but that one's risky. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. Let's see here. Let me just scan through some alts that kind of stuck out to me and see if anything comes to mind. Oh, Zill. I know Zill's the one people talk a lot about. Let's take a look here. This is our weekly on Zill's Binance, right? This is the BTC pairing. Again, very similar price that we keep. You know, how many times we can look at these charts today, right? Where we just have this rectangle, right, of support, support, support. You know, is this accumulation? OBV is slightly rising. That's something there. RSI just a dead stick. Definitely rising there. So, you know, I guess it's so hard to determine if this is accumulation or just a pause before the next dump. Remember, Bitcoin's going to determine this. This sideways price action really is just Bitcoin's private sideways price action, you know? This could definitely be in price discovery. It is notable, though, that we are holding here, which was our March 12th lows. Even though we broke it here intra-week, that's holding. If that breaks, basically, if we break below 480, yikes, this can go a lot lower. Let's see what else we got here. XDN. Come on. Somebody had asked for that one, right? On oh, Digitbyte. Okay, well, we'll look at XDN for just a moment here. This is Digital Note. Weekly Bittrex again. Yeah, just yeesh. You know, volume's low, price action's low, OBV has been rising, you know, all through 2018 there, so that's nothing, but they're just buying into this tremendous pullback here. This is a 10 bag pullback in reverse. Don't like those at all. But remember, this one pops in May, pops in January. So this one definitely has those quick moments there. Well, this is the weekly here. So this one does pop at a certain time on big volume. Not seeing that yet, you know, and the loading happens very quickly here, and you get a chance here because look at, you get a bullish weekly followed by an inside bar, and then a bullish weekly, bullish weekly, bullish weekly, pullback, and then a complete fall through there. So when this pops, you actually have some time to ride the wave when it does, but sideways price action stays in line. Uh, DGB. Let's do Digibot. Oh, somebody asked for Vet. I know somebody asked for Vet. Who asked for Vet? AC asked for Vet. Whoa, what is this? Phoenix Weekly. What? Is this the Phoenix Weekly? This can't be. Yeah, because it is so new. Yeah. Yeah, Vet doesn't look good at all. I mean, again, it's new on Bitfinex. I'm sure there's other exchanges would have it. Uh, Binance. There we go. A little bit longer. Yeah, there's nothing good here. Look at that OBV. Look at that OBV. That's it. That's what you don't want to see. People are unloading vet 159. Nothing tells me that this one looks good yet. Nothing. Last week's candle basically showed that as well. Watch your volume profile though. It could spike. That's what you want to watch for. Any push in out of the RSI to get above at least. Yeah, this is your area here. You got to break 44 on the RSI. You break that, and then you're talking here. But I don't like it. I don't like this consolidation going, putting in lower lows. We never like to see lower lows, especially that consistent as well. All right, guys. Running out of steam here. I'm going to just do a couple more. Let's see what comes to mind here. Let me look back to people that had asked for. I did that. Oh, I didn't do QRL. Quantum resistance ledger. All right. Oh, this is interesting. All right. So I'm on Bittrex. Look at that. Daily wicked out at the MA200 on the diamond. Remember, if you're popping bullish on the daily and you're basically closing in on your MA200 after not hitting it for a very long time, it's always going to be major resistance. It's just consistently going to be major resistance. Sure, it was there. This is pulling back here, but we were able to fan out bullishly here. So I kind of like this. We can still retest support here. And I thought I'd see that. Yeah, the OBV is very strong here. Yeah, the RSI had to cool down. We were what, 80, 47, resistance at 70. Now we're at 58. So this is just chilling out here. Let's just consolidate a little bit. It's not a bad looking chart. I like the bounce here. The volume's weak, but that's Bittrex. That's okay. Oh, wow. Look at that real collapse there on our Chalkin. That's not good. So money's falling through here. A lot of money was taken off the table with this pump. I want to do a quick, let's kind of see what kind of a extension we got. So we got a little over a 1-to-1 of that move there on our third push there. So that's interesting. All right, let's just go back to Bitcoin. We'll kind of wrap it up. I've been on for an hour. Nice. Thank you guys once again for being with me on a Sunday night as we watched our daily candle close, our weekly candle close. And we head into a new week of Bitcoin price action. That's just going to be pretty interesting. We got a lot on the horizon. Remember, we're watching our overall U.S. equities: QQQ, Nasdaq, S&P, Russell, Dow Jones. They had a post-election pop, right? Gave back a bunch. Let's real quick here. Look at that Dow Jones. Whoa, 5-minute chart here. Yeah, actually, look at the last 5 minutes of Friday's price action there. Whoop, whoop, get out. Take profits, get out. But actually, yeah, let's go to Dow Jones. Why not? Why not? Trade that too. So let's clean this up here just a little bit here. So we found support lower BB, okay. We broke through our upper BB, middle BB. Let's go to our daily because something, yeah, look at that. So we got back to our upper BB on the daily. And now we're finding support right there on our MA50 on our daily candle there. So bullish, bullish. Gave through some of that there. RSI cooling off. That could cool off a while. And look at our Stoke. Complete top off reversal here. Okay, so Monday's price action is going to be interesting, especially as the politics of our moment engage us to be aware of what's going on. Again, guys, let's take a quick look here at our daily as we start our new day today. There we go. Our 5-minute here, so 7 p.m. right here. This is our daily price action. We popped a little bit, got back over to 370, 63.70 on low volume. And that's what we're watching for. So, whew, all right, guys, I will be in touch with you throughout the week. Remember, if you enjoyed this content, please give me a thumbs up. Always much appreciated. And, this is going to be a week where we're going to see potentially some more sideways price action of Bitcoin. Listen, there's nothing that says that we can't continue to go sideways for quite a while here. Our Bollingers are pretty tight still, but sideways, our equilibrium is tight and holding. And because of that, Anything below 6,200, anything above 6,500 really is 6,540, I guess, is where we're going to see something notable up until we break basically this, I'd say a $300 price range, right? It's a yawner. Nothing happens. We're still as tight as we can possibly be in our equilibrium. I continue to refer to higher time frame charts that give me a lot of skepticism, as well as our MA 200 on our 3-day broken through resistance, resistance, continued resistance. Now we have our EMA 12 on our 3-day acting as resistance. So we're just all our EMAs are above our price. All of our EMAs are above our price. That's my whole point here. Okay, I want to be bullish. Nothing would make me happier than being super bullish on Bitcoin, on crypto, on everything, right? It's good for everybody. But until these charts look like we're on turn a corner, I just can't be. And the reason I can't be is because our EMAs are above our price. Our EMAs, our middle Bollinger, they're above our current price action. Until we can break that trend, until we can basically get higher above our EMAs, test them, find support, hold, and bounce with continuation, I'm going to keep my bearishness and my bearish sentiment in mind and kind of waiting to get to lower price action here. MA 100 at $5,800, MA 200 at $3,100 and rising on our weekly here. Everything else pretty much dead stick. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember that thumbs up. Remember to stay tuned. Keep you guys posted on what's going on. Until next time, Big Chonis signing out. Peace.